Hi, I'm Debbie Harbeck, and I'm a certified life coach working with women in midlife and through the menopause transition. So each week, I'll be sharing the latest information, inspiration, and generate some momentum so you can move forward and feel more in control of your changing midlife body and your life. Let's go. Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. And today I just want to get into one of the noisiest corners in the wellness world, and that is weight loss and belly fat loss for us ladies in midlife. So if you've ever felt confused and overwhelmed or annoyed, like me, by all the conflicting advice you're seeing out there, I'm talking about it today. So like you probably do too, you're seeing products and supplements and diets put in front of your face every day whenever you're on socials or you're Googling. And the amount of nonsense online is wild. So today I'm going to try to break down what's actually grounded in physiology, what's just marketing fluff, and how to spot the difference so you can stop wasting your time, wasting your money, and wasting your mental energy on this. So let's get into it. So first of all, why does belly fat get so much attention? Well, we know that the hormone shift of perimenopause and menopause happens. That's when estrogen and progesterone drop, insulin and cortisol can spike more easily, sleep gets disrupted, muscle mass naturally declines. This combo makes fat redistribution totally normal. It's totally normal that we start storing fat around the middle. But here's what isn't true. You are not broken. You are not damaged. And you're not suddenly incapable of losing weight in midlife. That's just not true. What is true is that you can't target weight loss in one area of your body. Our bodies don't work like that. They never did. But your capacity to influence your weight through lifestyle shifts, that's still very real. You can make changes that will, over time, release fat. So let's run through some of the most common claims that I see and hopefully help you cut through the nonsense. So the first one is that this one food or supplement burns belly fat. Now, there are no fat melting teas or herbs or gummies, powders, spices. And if something worked like that, trust me, every medical professional would be shouting it from the rooftops. The second one is you need to detox to reset your metabolism. So, what's really happening is your body has its own detox system. That's your liver, your kidneys, your gastrointestinal system. They detox you 24/7. So, if you're detoxing by restricting foods or you're juicing or you're taking supplements, you can't replace your body's natural detox system. What it might do, though, is slow down your metabolism, which I'm sure you don't want. So, the best advice from me is to support your natural detox system by not drinking alcohol, by drinking more water, by eating whole foods and reducing stress in your life and getting good sleep. These are all the ways that you can support your detox system. The third one is that carbs are the reason you can't lose weight. And I've done a whole episode on this. Carbs are not the villain. What matters is the quality of carbs you're choosing. So Pop-Tarts have a different effect than quinoa, for example. Context matters. Carbs come in all shapes and sizes: fruits, vegetables, legumes, grains. They're all carbs. What matters is the format that you are ingesting. The fourth one is it's impossible to lose weight after 40. And you might see this online too, but it's not true. Is it harder? Yes, sometimes it's harder. Is it impossible? No. So studies show that midlife women can lose weight with consistency around nutrition, protein, strength training, and stress management, and good sleep. This is what's true. We can lose weight. You're not stuck here in midlife with the body that can't change. That's just not true. And the fifth one is just balance your hormones, and that will melt the fat away. So we know that there are so many hormones in our body that influence our appetite, that influence our motivation, our energy, and our fat distribution. And we talk about Hormones on this podcast, we talk about estrogen and progesterone, insulin, cortisol, leptin, ghrelin. With this knowledge of how hormones work, you can make choices that support weight loss and health. But hormones aren't magic switches. They can't be balanced. They can't be turned on and off. I've given you all the false claims, what I think are false claims, but let's talk about what is true and what you should pay attention to. So, the first thing would be strength training is one of the most effective tools for weight loss in midlife. And I would believe that's true. Women lose about 1% of muscle per year after age 40. And muscle is your metabolic engine. More muscle you have, more daily calorie burn. It just makes sense that if you have more muscle, you will be more apt to lose fat. The next one is protein matters more in midlife. And protein does help preserve muscle, it helps manage your hunger, stabilizes your blood sugar, and most of us in midlife aren't eating enough protein. We don't realize it, but we probably aren't eating enough. So it's just being mindful, not being fanatical, but just being mindful of the protein you're eating and making sure you're getting enough. And I have a whole podcast on protein as well, if you want to look into that. Stress and sleep. So the third one is stress and sleep have real metabolic effects. And that's true. We know that higher cortisol leads to more abdominal fat storage. So we know we want to reduce stress. We know that poor sleep leads to higher hunger hormones, meaning you're feeling hungry more often, and leads to cravings. So we want to get better sleep. And these aren't excuses. This is just biology. This is the way your body works now, but it was working this way before too. The next one is to eat more whole foods. And a big mistake I see is women trying to undereat to lose weight. And that just does not work. Chronic dieting, we know it lowers our energy, it lowers our muscle, which we really need right now. It spikes cravings and it makes weight loss much harder. We know that fueling your body strategically, meaning focusing on the whole foods, the good fats, the complex carbs, the protein, if we focus on that consistently, that's way better than restricting. And finally, the last thing is consistency does perform intensity every single time. So there's no detox that you can do. The best thing you can do is to be consistent and boring in a way. So for example, strength training 2 to 3 times a week, consistently, eating whole foods in most of your meals, protein at every meal if you can, walking consistently every day if you can, managing your stress, making that a priority every day, getting good sleep every day. So, getting to bed at a good time, waking up at a good time. These things compound, they compound slowly but reliably. So finally, how do you spot the real stuff from the ridiculous stuff? First of all, does it sound too easy or quick? Then let it go. Does it promise to target belly fat? Let it go. Is it selling fear? Is it making you afraid that if you don't get this, you won't get results? Then let it go. Does it blame one hormone, one food, one macro? Let it go. And does it require buying their product, their supplement to unlock results? I would let that go. And on the flip side, think about what sounds more truthful. Does it take a long term approach? It's probably true. Does it build strength or muscle? Probably true. Does it include food freedom and focus on whole foods? Yeah, keep that one. Does it address stress and sleep? Probably a good idea. Does it sound, like I said, boring and reasonable? It's probably something you can do because the boring stuff generally works. So here's the real heart of this conversation. Most of us don't need another diet. We need clarity. We need a framework that cuts through the noise. We don't have to count every calorie. We don't have to eliminate carbs. We don't have to do intense workouts 6 days a week. We don't have to take this supplement or that food. But what you do need is a strong understanding of your own body and how it works. What you do need are habits that support your hormones rather than fight against them. What you do need is a plan that's sustainable, that you can do consistently. And you need someone in your corner reminding you that your body isn't the enemy. So when you know what's real, weight loss stops feeling chaotic and it starts feeling like it's doable because it is. I hope this episode helps you breathe a little easier, helps you separate fact from fiction, helps you stop blaming yourself. And if it does, I hope you share it with someone who is stuck in this confusion, who doesn't know where to go. And if you want support applying this to your life, that's exactly what we work on inside of my coaching. We create real momentum using the real things that do work and how to apply them consistently. And we let go of all these myths and stories that just don't work. I want to thank you for listening today. I really appreciate that you are here. I want you to keep moving forward. And bye for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Midlife Momentum Podcast. If you want to learn more about working with me, come visit me at DebbieHarbeckCoaching.com. That's Debbie, I-E, Harbeck with a C, coaching.com. See you next week.